Hello, I wanted to update you all today on the current status of our building and the reopening plan for our students coming up this fall. Today I'm going to talk to you about the plan in regards to how our students will enter the building, how they will move about the building, how they will sit in their classrooms and socially distance, move through the cafeteria space, and exit at the end of the day. Okay, safety protocols for busing and entry into Bishop McCort for the reopening of our schools. For busing information, you'll have to contact the district which you reside in that handles your busing. They will give you the details you need and the rules and regulations that they have for busing. The entry plan for Bishop McCort, students will pull up here, they'll exit their buses the way that they normally do. They'll approach the chapel as they always do when they enter in the front. We'll have 3 points of entry for bus riders here and some car riders that get dropped off. And we'll also have 2 points of entries in the back of the building for car riders and for students who drive. Once students enter the front of the building, they'll be greeted by a staff member to conduct their screening. The screening will be similar to this. They'll take a thermometer check, temperature check. That temperature check will then be recorded onto this piece of paper, and the person conducting the screening will ask a series of questions of the student. Once that student is cleared by the person that's conducting the screening, they will then either progress downstairs to the cafeteria for breakfast if they're hungry, or they can continue over to the gym area. So once students are cleared by the desks out front, they can enter either the gymnasium or the cafeteria. When they enter the gymnasium, they will be seated by grade level. So for example, this section right here may be reserved for seniors. So seniors will sit here, 11th grade, 10th grade, 9th grade, and 7th and 8th grade. As students are entering the building to Bishop McCort and transitioning to their holding areas prior to homeroom, all students will need to be masked. Again, it is mandatory that all students be masked while they're in their holding areas prior to homeroom and transitioning through the hallway. So let's talk about the transition period in the hallways and the transition time in the hallways. So there's plenty of space here for us to distance in the hallways while we're transitioning. So again, our movement through the hallway will be designed, for example, as if you're driving the car or driving a car. You'll transition down the right side of the hall as far as you can to the right at all times when transitioning. Some hallways will be one way only, some will not, but remember, always stay to the right and you won't have any issues. So now we're transitioning into the classroom. As we're moving into the classroom, there'll be a hand sanitation device here that you can use to sanitize your hands. As you're moving into the classroom, you'll come in, take your seat, sitting at my desk. Once I am socially distanced from my peers, take my mask off, get out my books. Teacher will be ready to begin class. Once class is over, once class is over, you will be asked to mask again. Put your mask on. You'll be able to remove yourself from your seat. There'll be hand wipes stationed throughout the class, sanitation wipes stationed throughout the classroom. Grab your sanitation wipe, wipe down your desk for the next person, throw it away, grab your materials, hit the hand sanitizer again, make sure that you're properly masked, exit the building or exit the classroom down the right side of the hall and progress to the next class. So as students enter the cafeteria line to get their lunches, we'll have these social distancing markers in place 6 feet apart. So the students, like in most places today, will have to adhere to these rules. 6 feet apart, next student will be up there, and then they'll proceed down the line, getting their food. We are having plastic installed all across here to ensure safety for our workers and our students. That'll be installed a little closer to the beginning of the school year. So as students progress down the line, they will socially distance using the markers that we just spoke of. Down the line, getting their meal, then they'll exit out that door where they will pay for their meal and then into the cafeteria. And once students have their lunches in hand, they'll proceed to the checkout counter where they'll pay for their food while socially distancing, enter the cafeteria seating area. If there's space in the cafeteria area here, they'll have a seat here. For example, in this chair right here, they'll have a seat here. Be socially distanced from their peers. Another student can sit beside them. They're all facing the same direction in the cafeteria area. In addition to this, if these seats are all taken, students will then move to an overflow area. The overflow area will be out here during the fall months before winter sets in. Students, as we always do, will have the opportunity to sit in our outdoor space, which is totally enclosed. Once this fills up, we have another overflow area here that we created just behind that wall in the Bach gym. So when students are finished eating, they'll get rid of their garbage, come back to their table, sit with their friends here at the table, talk. They will then mask up again and get ready for the transition back to the classroom. Okay, so this area of our complex is being disinfected every day. We disinfect this space in the morning before school starts, and we disinfect it at the end of the day with the fogging device that was used in the gym earlier. The fogging device, we just go along, fog the entire area along with the machine and the weights, and the fogging device sprays a disinfectant that is hydrostatic, in which it wraps around. Once it's sprayed, the disinfectant wraps around the object that we're spraying and disinfects it. We've found this to be highly effective throughout our summer workouts here in the buildings for our athletes that have been down here working out. We haven't had any issues at all. Our staff has been diligent about keeping it clean and keeping it safe for all of our students, and that will continue into the fall season. So at the end of the day, 2:25, after afternoon announcements, we will begin to dismiss our students once again by grade level, starting with seniors and then working our way down into the middle school. We'll dismiss them by class. They will exit the buildings out the points of entry that I discussed earlier. The 5 points of entry will be the 5 points that students can exit. They will then proceed to their buses and cars using the safety protocols that we have in line with your home school district with the busing. And then kids can proceed hopefully to their extracurricular activities within the building and move along from there. This concludes our safety protocol video for the reopening of Bishop McCort High School. We hope that we have provided you with the information needed to make you feel more comfortable with reopening the school again and sending your child to Bishop McCort. We are going to do our absolute best to have in-house schooling start on time and continue throughout the year. If we would have a situation where there would be an outbreak within our building, we will contact our families and be very transparent. We believe with the success that we had with our online program last March and into summer, that we can successfully transition into a period where if we have to go online for a 2-week period, we can. And then we can seamlessly transition right back into the classroom after that 2-week period. So when we talk about shutdown, we don't mean permanent shutdown, we mean temporary shutdown. If we would have to come to that, hopefully it won't. We're asking for your support in the process. We're asking for you to please support us in having your children use their masks during transitional time within the building, wash their hands, maintain social distance where possible within the building, and to please respect those rules. For us to do this and to do this properly, we're going to need maximum parental and guardian support from you. I appreciate your time, and again, God bless, and have a great day.